Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Oxcord podcast. I am not your host, Cruz Oxenrider. I am your host, Nick Perkins, though. Cruz is on vacation in Cabo for the week. If you've checked his Twitter, you've probably seen a couple of posts about it. He's living the dream down there, but we're holding down the fort here. I got Wyatt, I got Bon, and I got Mac. Boys, how we doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain, honestly. Just another day in paradise. I don't have to worry about Cruz breathing over my shoulder. Honestly, it's pretty good.
Are we just gonna be trashing Cruz this whole time? He's the boss is out, so now we get.
He can't defend himself unless he's on Twitter right now. So
yeah, let's think about it. We can trash the Saints. We can't trash the Heat because Wyatt's here. He'll defend.
No,
but we can pretty much do everything else.
Saints and Pelicans we can slander.
Yeah, James Winston is free game with Cruz gone.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, we'll touch on this maybe a little bit, but that video of Jameis Winston this week was unbelievable. Bon, how are we doing today, man? We almost lost you. We thought you died today. For everybody that doesn't know, Bon was like 3 minutes from getting skipped out on this episode. We've been hold of him for 12 hours.
Mac's phone call woke me up.
There we go. Did you sleep in a polo? Because if you're not watching the stream, Bon's in a button down right now, so. Did you sleep in that?
No.
Okay, well, fair enough.
It was laying on the floor by his bed.
What's that?
That's exactly.
It was laying on the floor by his bed.
At least it's clean. It looks clean, so I think we're good. But well, boys, we had a pretty big week in the NBA this week. The Heat took down the 76ers in 6. Jimmy Butler. Went 32 points, 13 of 29, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, the Heat look borderline unstoppable right now. Wyatt, I know you're our Heat guy. Like, Cruz is gone. Can't get an opinion from him. But what did you think about the series?
I thought Miami really scared me when that series went 2-2 coming back to Miami. Joel Embiid probably should have won MVP. I didn't think Jokic was all that. I thought Embiid should have had it. So, I mean, you get a league MVP type caliber player back. Of course, it's going to shift the series. But at the end of the day, James Harden was too busy trying to get into the next strip club to be making smart decisions on the basketball court.
I mean, Harden only taking 2 shots in the second half of Game 6 is. I mean, what's up with that? That doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense. I mean, if he was brought in to be the piece with Joel Embiid that was going to push Philadelphia over the edge, and they still didn't make it past the second round. I think, if the 76ers didn't have Harden, I don't think they'd have been in the second round in the first place.
Agreed.
I mean, if Embiid didn't come back, that's
a gentleman's sweep.
It's a sweep if Embiid didn't return. I mean, we had Harden in a snuggie the entire time. He was too busy trying to get into Tootsies.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure he has his jersey hanging in a couple of rafters in strip clubs in Houston. Like, that's honestly
he 100% does.
Yeah.
Did you see? This is way long ago, but when he got to Philadelphia, one of the strip clubs in Philadelphia did like this whole little photo shoot with one of their girls, and in front of all the areas was a James Harden jersey.
Jeez, like hung up in the.
No, like she was in very seductive positions, all on like the floor and everything. Like legs were in the air in positions that I could never create.
Oh, I remember this.
And in front of the the money shot there she held up a James Harden jersey.
I remember this
to cover everything
from Green.
Well, he's probably enjoying his time now at the strip clubs now that the 76ers are out of the tournament or out of the playoffs. But
he's in Cabo with Cruz.
As a guy that is normally used to taking like 15, 20, 30, 25 shots, in a game, to see him only shoot 2 shots in the second half. I mean, when you have to think, like, did he just like straight up give up on his team? Just, I'm done, sitting out. He still played the entire second half. He only shot twice though. So.
I think the team has kind of given up on him as well. They literally traded the entire farm away from him. And I saw a video of like him sitting on the bench and a couple of players were looking at him. We were giving him the shoulder. And I don't know, if you're going to trade away everyone for you, at least make sure that your team likes you. If you're going to be an asshole, then go somewhere else.
The talk on the team right now that, I mean, anybody that gives Harden a supermax contract at this point, they have got to be crazy. There's no way he's worth that anymore at all. I don't even think he's a top 5 player in the league anymore. Like, not even close.
No, Harden at this point is an average or slightly above average player.
Yeah, and honestly, he's just like a cap space help because he's going to demand so much money because he is that name and he's riding that wave of, averaging the, points, assists and everything he did like 5 years ago. But, now he's not the player it used to be. And I think that's pretty much a statement that every team needs to be aware of, that this guy is not worth the money that he's demanding anymore, for sure.
No. I mean,
I would take Nick
had a big
Stauskas over
three.
him at this point.
What'd you say, Mac?
Who?
I would take Nick Stauskas over James Harden at this point anymore.
Oh, now that's a little bit of a take.
I want to ask y'all a question. Who is the bigger disappointment for Philly right now, Ben Simmons or James Harden?
Ben Simmons. I mean, just for the length of it, I feel like, right? I mean, he sat out a whole year. That's a huge disappointment. At least Harden came in and like got him in the playoffs and actually made some noise.
Played.
Yeah, I feel like if he
but Ben Simmons been like Philly's known Ben Simmons has been bad, right? So
I mean,
how
I think they know.
Ben Simmons needs to go find a job in masonry with the amount of bricks that he lays. But you bring in you sell the farm for James Harden, and he comes in and has a lackluster season.
I mean, I mean, both guys are bad locker room guys, in my opinion. I don't think
100%
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, they're just toxic people to have in your organization, and I mean, at some point, teams will realize that and they won't pick them up anymore. I'm honestly shocked. Brooklyn is staying with Ben Simmons. I've seen people say like they're rocking with him. They're going into next season with him. So that's shocking to me. But I guess they've invested in him. They need to.
Yeah. His injury seems really weird to me because I understand he played the mental health angle, and I will never know if he was actually genuine with mental health struggles, but he was medically cleared to return to games 3 and 4 in Brooklyn. He doesn't play, says it's a mental block, and now he's having off-season back surgery on the same injury that he got medically cleared to play for 2 games in.
Right. And I mean, we as like commentators on all of this, I don't think we'll ever fully understand everything that goes into being an NBA basketball player. We don't know what it does to like the strain on your body and the strain on your head. Like, I think that's certainly something that plays into a role. But when you have former players like Shaq, Charles Barkley, I mean, those are just the 2 names that come off the top that are like actively criticizing this guy. I mean, throwing him under the bus. Usually these players and former players kind of have each other's back when it comes to shit like that, right? But these people are like, I mean, if you can't get up and if you're medically cleared and you can't get up and play in a playoff game, that says a lot. And I think, I mean, basically that's what Shaq said is like, this guy, is just not about it. And when you have former players like criticizing that level, I think that speaks volumes to the type of person and the type of player he is. When I'm talking about Ben Simmons. So I think that does speak a lot to that for sure.
I mean, his former teammate, like Joel Embiid, broke his face in the playoffs. And they were like, oh yeah, he's out, Miami's got this. And then it came out like the night before game 3 back in Philly that like, nah, Joel Embiid might suck it up and play.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Said
the morning of game 3. Yeah, the morning of game 3, he was in shoot-arounds getting fitted for a mask. They literally said like they airlifted this mask to get to Philly by tip-off so he could play.
I mean that's warrior spirit right there. That's somebody that legitimately wants to play.
You got to have that if you're going to play in the league, though.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you play an 82 game season and then plus playoffs on top of that. I mean, it's a grind for sure. But yeah, I mean that's two different players right there. But obviously, I don't know what actually is the injury that Ben Simmons has on his back. Is it just like a strained back, like muscle, or like is it? It was never like crazy serious, was it? Like he wasn't gonna get paralyzed if he went out there and played.
No, I don't think he was. But
So it was never that serious. I mean, like you said, Joel Embiid broke his face. What was that? A fractured eye socket. I mean, that's
something. Yeah, orbital fracture.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can't imagine the kind of pain the guy was in.
No,
playing.
I mean, he literally. Yeah. Okay. This website here, Clutch Points, says that Ben Simmons was dealing with back soreness following the ramping up of his conditioning in preparation to play for Brooklyn.
Was that just like back spasms, I guess?
I'm guessing.
A herniated disc in his back.
Which I know that is something that can like flare up. And I know that hurts. But also, I don't know what his contract is. I don't know what he's getting paid, but I'm sure it's north of $5 million a year. If you're getting paid millions of dollars a year, you got to strap up and play, dude. Like, you got to go.
Absolutely.
And because not just because you're getting paid that kind of money, but just career wise, like again, you're going to lose the locker room and you're never going to find a team doing stuff like that.
For the 2021-2022 season, Ben Simmons, who did not play a single minute, made $33 million.
Yeah, that is insane.
If I'm a general manager,
what the hell do I have to do to get this?
Right?
Change your shooting hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say this man is sitting on the couch like the rest of us, watching his team, watching the playoffs, and he's getting paid $33 million. Meanwhile, I'm working 3 jobs and still watching the playoffs from the couch.
Yeah, I was like, and we don't even pay you, Wyatt. So you're actually working 4 jobs, and not even paying you. So, but I mean, well, speaking of a guy that came off an injury, and I mean, actually helped his team in the playoffs, Klay Thompson coming back. I mean, is there anybody better in the league than Klay Thompson in Game 6? I mean, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 14 from 3.
Did you really just ask that?
Yeah,
with a Bucks fan sitting right here.
What? Who?
How'd Giannis do?
42 points and 20 rebounds. The first time since Shaq in the 2001 Finals that in the playoffs that someone has dropped 40.
But what was
points
the
and 20
ending
plus
score?
rebounds.
No, this.
Okay, when you have Jason Tatum go 12 of 20 from 3.
It doesn't matter. Giannis outscored Tatum.
No, he didn't.
In Game 6?
I'm fairly certain that Tatum dropped like 46 points.
I'm pretty sure he's right. I think Tatum outscored him.
He might have. I might be wrong on that. I probably
Either way, our perimeter defense fell apart the last 2 games.
Without Chris Middleton, it's crazy how big he is for the Bucks. Like, he seems like the guy that takes them from an above average team to like NBA Finals level.
Well, yeah, because
him being on the floor is huge for them.
He's our 3-point man, so our offensive strategy completely relies on him because we can't hit from beyond the arc unless he's in the game, and so otherwise they just crowd the paint and put Giannis in foul trouble in the second quarter.
Essentially, yeah. And Bon, I know you didn't get a chance to watch Game 7 today, but I have never seen a point guard try as many float layups like Drew Holiday and miss as much as he has. I think he was 25% from the field through this entire series. I mean, you can't have that. That's a guy that's just.
He's also not meant to be a shooter. He's, again, our offensive strategy relies on the play between Giannis and Middleton, and with Middleton out, we're just kind of screwed. Like the Splash Brothers used to be, Brooke and Robert Lopez were called the Splash Brothers for a little bit. They were meant to be like our answer in the paint for when Giannis needs to sit. But Brooke has had a lackluster season. He's had his moments, but I think he had like 3 points in Game 6.
Yeah,
and
I don't know how good Coach Bud is for you either.
He's awful.
I mean, it's just.
He does.
You got Jason Tatum out there dropping 40 points a game on your head, and you do absolutely nothing to adjust to that. Nothing.
Right. We have, in my opinion, who should have been the defensive player of the year in Drew Holiday, and we just don't set him on their premier man at all.
Yeah, I just don't
Like
get that.
we're running interior zone defense, and they just drop threes on our head the entire game.
I mean, at some point you got to body up, go man to man, and just because you can't, you're gonna die doing that. I mean, clearly, like you lose two straight, one being at home, like you can't have that, especially in the playoffs and like a team like Boston, they get hot at the right time. I mean, it's done. I mean, you see that obviously, but so they obviously go past the Bucks and so they're into the Eastern Conference Finals. But the Warriors getting past the Grizz, man, like without Ja, I was kind of thinking that Grizzlies were just gonna like fall by the wayside, and then like Game 5 happened, and they dropped 120 without him.
They didn't even need him that game.
They didn't even need him. Yeah.
Well, okay. To be fair, Ja was injured earlier in the season for I think 21 games, and the Grizzlies went 19-2.
Yeah.
So
the joke is that the Grizzlies are better without Ja Morant.
Even though he's arguably the most electric player in the league right now.
Oh, yeah. And that's not even an argument, I think. Absolutely. I think he's the most electric player. I mean, his athleticism is unbelievable. Yeah. I will say, whenever Giannis gets ahead of steam and he starts playing like the way Giannis can, he's actually, I mean, you watch him and it's
Giannis is the best player in the league right now.
I would go on record saying by the end of Giannis's career, he will be known as the best basketball player to play in the NBA ever. Like, truly, he's that good.
Like, now that he's nailed down his jump shot and can actually shoot 66% from beyond the arc.
He's what is he, 7'1"?
Yeah.
He's 7'1", moves like he's 6'4", and is like extremely smart with the basketball too. I mean, like honestly, he could bring it up the court if he wanted to. I mean, he's a complete game changer. I hope he never leaves Milwaukee because I think he's just so perfect.
Oh, he won't
for that city.
I really wish he did.
You say he won't, but he was on the fence last year. I don't know.
No,
yeah, but he re-signed it. He re-signed like a 4-year deal.
He's on a supermax.
The only thing I could ever see him leaving is if it was something like a super team was being built wherever. I'm just going to say Los Angeles because it would make me happy. And it was like, okay, you got a supermax. We'll pay you the same amount of money, but you come live in Los Angeles and we got XYZ player.
Yeah.
Like, no, the only way Giannis has said in interviews before that he wants to end his career in Milwaukee. He does not want to leave.
That doesn't mean that he's gonna stay in Milwaukee for his entire career. He just will come back if he does leave.
He's not gonna leave.
I don't see him leaving.
Okay, he's 27 years old now.
He had his chance
last year to leave supermax last year. So he's got 4 more years left on that. So that puts him at 31 by the time that he can start shopping around again.
Yeah.
And we're going to renew that supermax because he's going to be a freak until he's 36.
That's fair. He does have that longevity of being this good for so long. I mean,
he's only 27.
Yeah. What is
the problem is going to be Mike Budenholzer's just going to waste his career.
Yes.
As a Heat fan, I thoroughly enjoy watching Bud screw y'all over. As a basketball fan, it absolutely pains me to see him absolutely wasting Giannis and all the potential that the Bucks actually have. I hate to give the Bucks credit, but like Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis, I mean that's almost a big three. That is a big three right there. They could really run.
Oh, they single-handedly carried us to an NBA championship.
I was going to say they could run. They could 100% run the show, and yet Bud is such an inept coach that.
And last year, after this has been going on since last season, and then we got hot in the playoffs, and well, I guess we were the 1 seed, so can you really say that we got hot? But we got extremely better in the playoffs, and everyone's like, "Oh, Bud's finally turned it around," or whatever. No, that was just the guys getting hot.
Yeah.
And so the Buds I even stopped a little bit.
Yeah, I said this last year. It's a testament to how good Giannis and Middleton and Holiday are that they took Bud to a championship. I mean, it's the same thing as Aaron Rodgers winning a Super Bowl with McCarthy. Like that's like
Exactly.
crazy.
Yep.
The curse of Wisconsin sports is we cannot find good head coaches.
Yeah,
Hopefully
you can't-
LaFleur breaks that because he is like the winningest head coach in NFL history in his first 3 seasons.
Oh, is he really? Well, I mean that makes sense. I mean he's a great coach in general.
He's
but we
39
also have
and
Aaron Rodgers the whole
9.
time. So
He's won I saw the stat during football season. He's won like the second or third most football games in the first like 3 seasons of a head coach's career. He's taken Green Bay to be the first team to win consecutive 13-win seasons. Like Matt LaFleur's up there, very quickly rising up the ranks. If we can get over that hump to the Super Bowl, you could make the case that he is like Andy Reid level.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean also like how much of that is just having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback? Like let him have Jordan Love for a couple seasons, and we'll see if we still sing his graces the way we are now. You know what I mean?
To be fair, McCarthy did miss the playoffs in back-to-back years with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback.
Oh no, I'm not saying McCarthy is is a great coach. McCarthy is a terrible coach. I will never
He's awful.
debate that. But I'm saying like with Matt LaFleur, before we start saying, oh yeah, he's like top 5 coach ever or whatever, like let's give him a not so great quarterback to work with. Is all I'm saying.
Andy Reid never won a Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes.
True.
And
So
he did
is-
have
So is
have
he
Donovan
not a
McNabb.
top 5?
But honestly, I think Matt LaFleur, he kind of plays second fiddle to Sean McVay in a way. They're both, very similar, good friends. They come from a similar background. McVay obviously does have the Super Bowl, so I think he does get the upper hand that way. But I mean, the future is bright for both of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how we got on the NFL, but
NFL is king. We always make our way back to this topic.
I can't wait till football. What are we like 100 days away? Man, it's just too far. That's too
We're
far.
getting there, man.
But we did just watch the Celtics advance past the Bucks. I'm sorry, Bon. We do have to talk.
3 of the
about
4
it.
of us did.
I mean, we were talking about it for like 10 minutes.
We're actually diving into it now.
Let's just dive into it straight up. Had a great stat, Wyatt, you found. What was that? It was
Grant
Boston
Williams
has been in the Eastern Conference Finals for how many years?
Boston is playing in. You know what? Actually, let me get to the Twitter super quick, and I'll. find this.
Credit to Mike Breen here for this stat. The Celtics will now play in their 37th Eastern Conference Finals. That is exactly half the amount of the Eastern Conference Finals ever. That's a crazy stat. I mean, the consistency with them. I mean, obviously you had the big 3 for however many years they had them, and they had a little bit of a drought where they weren't so great. But I mean, fair play to them. They hit on Tatum, and they're right back in the thick of it. So Celtics are great.
The Irish right there.
What do you think really was the key? I mean, like Middleton being back in, does the Bucks win that series? Like if Middleton was healthy, they win that series, right?
Bucks in 6 if Middleton was healthy for that series.
Yeah.
You could almost argue 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Middleton does play better against the Celtics than any other team.
He is the Celtic killer for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
How bad was that MCL injury? I thought it wasn't that bad, and then
It was a strain. He was not going to make it for the conference finals. He was questionable to be back for like the championship.
Gotcha. Okay, so it was pretty rough then. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
MCL is a very serious injury. You don't want to strain that, but
You don't wanna screw
obviously
around,
for
yeah.
any athlete that isn't named Ben Simmons, if you're even close to getting back and it's game 7 of a series, like you're playing in that game.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
If Middleton would have been even close to being medically cleared, he would have put a brace on it. At least out there,
if he was
behind the arc.
Yeah.
55-60% of the player he is when fully healthy, he'd have slapped a brace on it, taken some Advil, and said, "Hey, it's game 7. Let's go win it."
Yeah.
I saw a crazy tweet, and it honestly got ratioed, so I don't know how good of a take it was. But what do you guys think about having free agency run for like one player when you're in the playoffs? Like you can go pick up a free agent or go get a G League player if one of your main guys go down. Like, would that be something that's interesting in the league that you would like to see?
So
Well, that would kind of be like, okay, so let's say hypothetically we limit it to your G League team.
Like let's say that, because I don't think that's what the guy said. I think it was like literally any free agent. But
I
yeah,
was
you
gonna say,
you can dip into your feeder team to grab a player for the playoffs if one of your guys goes down. I think that would be kind of cool, actually.
I like that
I like,
because
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of basically like baseball. Somebody
Right.
gets injured, you bring
Just
somebody
call
up.
someone up. Yeah.
It'd be a great
So-
storyline too, especially if the guy comes in and balls out.
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
I think that would be an interesting change to see. I don't know how often it would be utilized because, like, if you bring someone up, you'd have to send someone down. And
Well, I mean, essentially, you would send the guy down that isn't going to be able to play, right? So you would take.
well, yeah,
the
but
guy off.
then so it's a short-term injury like Giannis last year in the finals. If you only get one swap like that, then you can't send Giannis down if he's going to be back.
No.
Well, okay, yeah. So I guess you. Well, I think that's part of the gamble, right? Like, obviously, you go with that. I mean, Giannis, I don't think you do that. You don't even.
No, that was just
No,
the
unless
only example,
Giannis
like,
absolutely like
is
tears
out
his
for the
ACL.
like he
Shatters
broke
Yeah.
his
knee.
leg
he
and he's
shatters
gone.
his kneecap.
Yeah.
Then okay, maybe we have that discussion. But like you
I
said,
mean, but like Middleton,
sprained
being a-
MCL.
yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have sent Middleton down and just called somebody up. I also don't know who's on the Bucks G League team.
I don't
so-
even know who our G League team is.
I don't either, but I mean,
I
just
don't
I
know.
mean, obviously, hindsight's always 20/20 on stuff like that too. Like, you know, the guy could come up and he could, go 0 for 8 from the field and just completely cost you the game.
Yeah.
So, but I just think it would be kind of interesting. It would throw like a little bit of a wrench into it and make teams invest more heavily in their G League team. I feel like just to have
Yeah.
that availability. I think that'd be cool. I mean, again, the dude got ratioed on Twitter for it. I can't find the tweet now where like his actual words were.
Yeah.
But I think that would be kind of cool to see. I don't know if it would ever actually be implemented ever, but I thought.
Well,
it'd be
I mean, in 2020, in the finals against the Lakers, Miami had two guys that were on the G League team the year before, Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson. Both were starting in the finals for the Heat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have the ability to develop on your G League like a team like Miami does, then I see no issue with it.
Right, and then I mean, there are good guys in the G League. Jordan Poole was in the G League last year, right? So there are ballers down there.
Yeah.
So they're. It's not like these guys are going to come up. I said that about like, he's going to come up and go 0 for 8, under the pressure or whatever. But there are some ballers down there that you could bring up. I think it would be. I don't know. I mean, again, we don't even know who's on the Bucks like feeder team, who would you even bring in, but.
Yeah.
Man, how cool would it be if like just some no-name guy came in and dropped 20 points in like Game 7 of a finals to win? That'd be nuts.
And then went back to the G League.
And then went back to the Exactly.
John Doe drops 20. He's 8 of 9 from 3. Bucks win the NBA championship, and then he's on the Lakers G League roster come opening day.
Yeah. Well. We got the final game today slated for the 7 p.m. slot Central. We got the Mavs taking on the Suns in Game 7. How do we look about this one going? Obviously, it tips in about 15 minutes, so you got about 15 minutes to get your bets in. So anybody that wants to make me some money, let me know. What are we?
Wait, what bet are we doing?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like what are we feeling about this game? Because I might throw some money on it.
You've got 15 minutes, dog.
You got 15 minutes to convince me. I feel like Luka is kind of playing out of his mind right now.
He is.
But I mean, there's just something about this Suns team that I feel like they just don't ever die. Like they don't ever go away. I think it's a testament to this Dallas team that they've taken them 7 games. But I mean, 7-game series, Game 7
all right.
in
Nick,
Phoenix.
I got your bet.
What's the bet?
First half spread. Take the Mavs plus 3.5.
3.5. All right.
That sounds good.
I like that.
You think it's gonna be so really tight game then? 6.5. What? Why are the Suns 6.5 point favorites in this game? That's crazy. That's a crazy high spread.
That's
Neither. So
I feel like I'm missing something.
Mac, do you want to repeat that?
Hey, how can you not like Chris Paul? That's all I'm saying.
What?
Chris Paul's a choke artist.
He's also an ass.
He is a choke artist, and he is a dirty ass player.
To pick up Herb Jones. I don't know a single other player in the NBA that would have done that to a player on a different team. That's all I'm going to say. Like, he's a class act. You can hate him all you want, but I'm rooting for the Suns in the West.
Giannis was in the middle of getting gentleman swept by the Heat. He got ran over by Jimmy Butler and stuck his hand out to help Jimmy up.
Chris Paul
yeah,
is
Giannis,
back in
Giannis is
2020.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's true.
Giannis is just a fantastic dude.
He's just
I
an
love
awesome
his
dude.
tweets.
I can't.
The first time he tried a corn dog.
The
If you
Oreos
ever-
and milk, that's a classic tweet too.
If you ever want some serotonin, just find Giannis's Twitter and just watch like the tweets and the videos and stuff of him trying like American foods for the first time.
I have
It is
never
just-
seen this.
it is
I
absolutely
don't know what this
gold.
is. I have no
Oh,
idea what
like-
you're talking about here.
It's like a 5-year-old opening Christmas presents for the first time, but it's awesome. Everyone
Literally.
can enjoy it.
My favorite thing last year was
But
when they
it's a
won the championship and he just
26-year-old.
carried the trophy around in his car the whole time.
Yeah, and
That
he
shit
went to
was hilarious.
Chick-fil-A and picked up 50 chicken nuggets for his 50 piece.
Yes.
Oh man, that was great. I love that.
No, he just tried a corn dog for the first time and he tweeted it and he was like, just had a corn dog for the first time. I love America. And that was the tweet.
That
And
was
he
it.
tweeted, He's tweeted that for trying Oreos and milk together. The first time he had a smoothie and a couple more that I can't remember right now.
It's really is life's simplest pleasures for him. I mean, honestly.
Oh, 100%.
We need to do a Giannis deep dive of his life's simplest pleasures for sure.
I'll make a TikTok out of that this
Yes,
I would
please
love
do
that.
a
Would be
TikTok
awesome.
on
That
that.
would be great. Oh man, that'd be awesome. So does he post videos of him eating it, or is it just
No,
like
it's just a one sentence tweet. Just had a corn dog for the first time. I
just
love
tried
America.
X? It was
Yeah.
awesome. Great.
Tried blank. America is great.
All right. So Mac, you're all in on the Suns.
Yes.
Vaughn, Wyatt, what's your thoughts?
I think the Suns win this game, but like I just put money down on Mavs plus 3.5 at the half, so I think it's going to be a tight game. But I do think the Suns pull it out.
I just did Mavs. I did honestly. I did Mavs plus 3.5, and then I got crazy and just went Mavs money line too. I just went with it. I don't get the hate that Luka gets. I love that guy. I think he's a great shit talker to me.
100%.
So I mean, him and
Absolutely.
Booker even like going at each other, like during the game, like just shit talking back and forth I think it's fantastic. I got plus 225 on DraftKings for Mavs money line, so I think that's a great bet. I mean, Game 7, it's basically a coin toss, anyways. So
I saw this debate kind of on Twitter. The guy earlier, the guy was getting the process of getting ratioed for it. But Devin Booker or Luka, who's better?
Luka.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did this guy say Booker was better?
This guy said Booker was like head and shoulders above Luka Doncic.
Yeah, that's just.
And I
not
was like,
accurate at all.
okay.
You dropped 160-point game.
Wait a minute.
Now, Booker's a great player.
He's great.
Let's not leave that, but I mean, Luka is basically doing this by himself.
I was gonna say he's got Max Kleber looking like Steph Curry.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
I mean,
Oh man, that's great. Okay.
my heart wants the Mavericks to win this game because if Phoenix is knocked out of the playoffs, then Miami has, assuming we make the finals, has home court advantage no matter who we're playing for the rest of the playoffs. It was Phoenix and Memphis. Memphis just got knocked out, so I need Dallas to win this. But neither team has won a road game in this series. It's all been home winners, and Game 7 is in Phoenix. So my heart wants Dallas. I'm gonna throw like $20 on Dallas just to see, but my mind and everything else in me says Phoenix is gonna smoke them by 5-10.
And just break my heart.
Yep.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let's get into a little prediction. Wyatt, I know what you're gonna say, Heat in 5, but we got Boston and the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. Are you sticking with Heat in 5? Is that what you're going with?
I'm gonna go Heat in 6.
Okay, Heat in 6.
Heat in 6 because Boston is gonna take one that they shouldn't have. I keep comparing everything to the Atlanta series, but like it makes the most sense is that Miami's got all the momentum. Jimmy Butler is playing out of his mind. You know, at any point, Duncan Robinson could come off the bench after not playing but 4 minutes the previous series and drop 20. So we'll take game 1 and 2 pretty handedly. Game 3, I think Boston takes. I think we take 4 to go up 3-1. And then we'll come back to Miami and we'll sleepwalk the game. So Boston will take that, and then we'll have to go back into Boston for game 6 with like, hey, look, this is serious. We gotta get to the finals. Let's end their season here, and Miami will handle them in game 6. So Heat in 6 is my prediction.
Okay, pretty good prediction there. I like the logic. Bond, Mac, what you think?
Normally, I would, now that my team's out, I would shift to the Celtics because I have Celtics friends. However, Jack has been such an ass this entire series, and I'm going Heat in 7.
Let's go.
Heat in 7.
Welcome to the dark side, Mr. Snow.
All right, Mac.
Before I give my pick, I'm just going to leave some breadcrumbs. I'm going to say I think it ends in 6, but I'm not going to say who wins this yet. I'm going to save it for Mac. All
right, save it for Mac's got your back. Okay, I'm also
Okay.
going Heat here. I'm going to go Heat in 6 as well. I think, Wyatt, you pretty much said everything. Jimmy's playing out of his mind. Boston's coming off a grueling 7-game series, a lot of emotion on going 2 games back-to-back. And then they're pretty much going to have to completely shut it off, reset, go into this Miami series that, Miami's been rested for a couple of days now. So it's going to be it's going to be an uphill battle for them. And I fully believe that Jason Tatum and the Celtics are a great team. Al Horford is playing like he did. I think he's probably playing his best basketball of his career right now, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah,
But it's hard even for professionals to go through a 7-game series and then immediately jump into the next series without any rest. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be a testament to the coaching and the mindset of those players on the Celtics if they can keep this a series. But I'm going to go Heat in 6. But with that being said, I know we got the game tonight, so we don't have the Western Conference set, but we got the Warriors playing either the Mavs or the Suns. How do we look for that? Personally, I think the Warriors pretty much 5 or 6 game and win that series either way, the Suns or the Mavs. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. Like, you get 40-pieced by a team in the semis. That's rough.
Oh, that was embarrassing. I can't believe I bet on them.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a tough one.
I did too.
So
They cost me my parlay.
It was like a family dinner, so we went out to dinner that night, and there's politics going around. Wade Roe v. Wade. I'm like, all right, I don't want any of this. And I look at the TV, and the Warriors are down 40. I couldn't believe it. I was like surrounded by misery. It was terrible.
That's awful. Well, I'm still going Golden State. Do you guys? I don't know. I guess obviously you live and die by the 3, and that's a testament to that game. But it's more often than not that Golden State's hot from 3.
Okay, I will make this prediction now. Golden State wins against whoever they play because neither team that can be in is playing well enough to beat them. However, Golden State is not playing well enough to beat the Heat or the Celtics right now.
I agree with that.
It's going to be NBA championship stays in the Eastern Conference this year.
I actually fully
makes
agree
my
with
heart
that. I
happy.
think Boston and the Heat are playing better basketball than the Warriors right now. But okay, let's take off that 40 piece. And I know that's hard to forget because that is such a big thing. But do you still say that without thinking about that game?
Yes. From what I've seen, the Warriors have not been playing well enough in order to beat this Boston or Miami team, but especially Boston's getting hot right now. Granted, I still don't think that the Suns or the Mavs have the ability to beat the Warriors right now with the way that these two teams have been playing, especially throughout the playoffs. Like, you got taken to 6 games against a New Orleans Pelicans who was under 500.
Right. Pelicans were a lot better team in the second part of the season, though.
100%. But they're also missing their star player.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
And you still get taken to 6 games against that. I just don't think that the Suns have what it takes in order to beat this Golden State team.
You with that, Wyatt?
Yeah, I think pretty much same logic. Golden State, if you take out the 40 piece, they 30-pieced Memphis with Ja Morant in Memphis as well. So, I mean, Golden State, like you said, it's more often than not that they are hot from three. And if this game goes, and if, the Western Conference Finals goes to 6, then right and pin the Warriors to the finals because Klay Thompson's going to have another godly performance. But I think Warriors in 7 because the Suns, Phoenix is a tough environment, especially now that they've become a good team. I think Warriors in 7 if the Suns make it, and I think Warriors in 5 if the Mavs make it.
Okay, that's good. I like that bet.
Well, my Heat Warriors prediction looks phenomenal right now.
Do you have money on that at all?
I don't, because I was under the age of 21 when I made that prediction.
Fair enough. Fair. Well, we all do things that we're not supposed to be doing before we're 21. So
I mean, yeah, this is water.
Yeah, exactly. Totally water, right? Yeah. Is that
100%.
Malibu?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You were just sipping a high noon. Did you switch to a Malibu? I mean, I woke up before we started recording, and I'm already drinking, so I can't really judge. But.
Well, your team just lost in the playoffs, so you kind of have a reason to be drinking.
Yeah, you got some catching up there to do, Vaughn.
Yeah, for sure.
I
saw something earlier today, guys. A study came out that said golf sports bettors are like the most profitable of any sport. And that kind of blew my mind. But I guess it makes sense because of the odds and stuff. And if you know anything about golf and how they play, like you're able to really narrow down that field. But I mean, I had no idea about that. Like that golf random sport is the most profitable. I would have thought like football or basketball.
Golf out of all things.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That's wild. I mean,
maybe because there's
so here's why I think without reading the study. The lines in golf, since it's such a changing game and anyone can get hot or cold, the line's got to be fantastic. So if you throw 15 down on 10 people to win and one person does win, you're making that back and like an extra $600.
Sure, right. And then you can you can afford to miss on the next 3 or 4 tournaments or the next 3 or 4 whatever because you made so much on that.
Right.
But with all that being said, like, we can move into our next segment of Max Got Your Back presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. It's major time. Golf's second major of the year is this weekend. From tee to green, get in all the action of 4 rounds on the DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can place $5 bet on who will win, single round matchups, and get $100 in free bets, no matter what, win or lose. Don't miss out on this action this week on DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Use code BOOT at sign up and bet $5 on golf's second round and get $100 in free bets, no matter what. That's code BOOT only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Mac, take it away for Max Got Your Back.
All right, so over the past 2 weeks, I ran back the numbers and see what I was good at, see what I wasn't. NBA and MLB, I was somewhere around 50%. However, I take a lot of pride and confidence in Florida boy here. Got 83% over his he went 15 for 18 on his NHL picks over the past 2 weeks. That is awesome. I've never played hockey in my life. I went to a hockey rink one time, and then I got diagnosed with diabetes the same day. So I am the farthest thing from a hockey guy, but I'm 15 for 18, so we're on fire. So I'll get some more golf picks for you this upcoming weekend, the AT&T tournament, but I'm going to stick for Tuesday's games. I'm going Heat money line against the Celtics. I don't care what the spread is. Stay away from it. Poke a stick at it. I don't care. Stay away from it. The Heat are going to win. That's a lock. And I'm going to go back to the MLB. I'm not great in it, but look, it's the MLB. There's going to be some that win, some that don't. I really like the Yankees against Baltimore. They're visiting, but the Yankees are off to a really hot start. I like them.
Okay, fair enough. So there's your picks for the day, and obviously go follow the pod account at Oxcord Pod. I almost shouted out Cruz's Twitter. That absolute garbage account. But anyways, yeah, go follow the Twitter account for the show to get Max Got Your Back picks the entire week. We've been pretty good this week, boys, about getting picks out like every day. So that's been pretty good. And obviously, we went positive this week, right? We had people's back this week. I think we did.
Sure.
Good.
We always do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well,
in other news, Wyatt, you want to drop that news you just put in the comments?
Oh, credit to Ari Morev, My Sports Update on Twitter, for tweeting this out. Drew Brees has left NBC, the broadcasting. He's done with it. As of right now, he is undecided on his future and is leaving the door open for a return to playing football.
I don't think he comes back. There's no way he comes back, right?
He's been out for what? I mean, was this his first season without not playing?
Yeah, this was
his second.
This past year was his first year. Yeah.
Okay.
Drew Brees to Miami.
Bro.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't
I had to just throw that in there.
People thought
Tua
Tua
was
was
come out
new
as a
to
graduate assistant for all I care, but he's not getting the quarterback range.
I
thought-
don't know. He can't throw the ball farther than 30 yards. I don't know how he comes
Unless he
back.
had some arm surgery that he just replaced his right arm with a robot.
Well, maybe
I don't
he was
see
just,
any way he comes back. Like Tom Brady, obviously he half retired and came back, which whatever about that. I think that was all staged, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
Drew Brees legitimately looked like he needed to retire. Tom Brady was still Tom Brady when he retired.
He's like a more handicapped version of Taysom Hill, for sure.
If he comes back,
in terms of physical ability, yes. In terms of football IQ, Taysom Hill might as well be a middle schooler.
Jamarcus Russell.
Yes.
I only say that to go.
I don't know. I mean, Brees his arm looked bad, like comically bad, his final season playing for the Saints. But
so maybe he was come back to play. But what if he comes back to coach?
That I could see.
Also,
but maybe his arm was just tired. Maybe his arm was just tired. I mean, because you got to think the amount of off-season throwing plus regular season plus right there at the tail end of his career. I mean, the Saints were in the playoffs pretty consistently. So he's having to go an extra month to 2 weeks to a month of throwing in practice, in games, taking shots. Maybe he takes the year off and he's like, okay, my body can take a couple more hits. I'm not a complete CTE dummy yet. We might want to run out there and run it back one more time. Now he wouldn't go back to the Saints. I don't think the Saints would.
I don't think. Well, they can't. They can't really afford him at this point.
They still hold his rights, similar to how the Seahawks did Marshawn Lynch when he retired. So they'd have to trade his rights, and then he'd come back, or he could come back and then the Saints just trade him. But
I feel like
we're glossing over a very obvious possibility here. Maybe he just didn't like broadcasting. He has fuck you money.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's a chance he's just going off and to sit in the sand for a little bit. Like
He might be. Who knows?
I mean, he does have children.
He does. Yeah. He's got multiple. Yep.
So I mean, maybe he just doesn't like broadcasting. Doesn't like the fact that he would have to travel to games.
Know. I mean,
and wants to spend time with his family. It's not like he needs the money.
No, I think it's definitely more likely that he's coming back to do a coaching role, if anything. I definitely don't think he's coming back to play by any stretch.
Let's play devil's advocate here. Drew Brees announces he is unretiring, coming back into the National Football League. Where does he go? Who takes
Not the Saints and Cruz. We have to pretty much place Cruz on suicide watch.
Yes.
Because if that happens and he goes and plays for the Falcons, can you imagine that?
We are not leaving Cruz in a room by himself.
I don't want it because he's I mean, I'm not like Drew Brees is in my opinion, top 5 quarterback all time. As a Falcons fan, I'm saying that. But I don't want him because he's so ass now. He's not good anymore. He's not Drew Brees as of 2015 or 16 or 17 when he was able to do the things he was able to do. He's not that guy anymore. I don't want him, but can you imagine that would be unreal. That would be just a giant troll to the Saints if
would
they
be.
somehow allowed that to happen.
He would be Chris Paul levels of hated if he goes from playing for the Saints, retires, immediately unretires, and goes to Atlanta.
I don't. Well,
that's like Brett Favre FU to Green Bay levels.
Going to Minnesota. Yeah,
Yes.
essentially. Yeah.
It would actually make a lot of sense because if you remember correctly, when Drew Brees retired, I think the Falcons released like a 1 minute and 33 long second video thanking him. And then when he retired from the Saints released like a 50-second video or whatever. And I remember that was blown up on Twitter. So it's kind of crazy to think that the Falcons thanked him longer than the Saints.
Yeah, that is. Well, same thing, though, happened with like Matt Ryan or whatever. I think they put out like a 50-second video thanking Matt Ryan, and like some other teams like put out way longer. So, I mean, who's to say anything about that? But,
devil's advocate, we're saying Atlanta.
Honestly, I hope it happens because it'd be a great troll. It'd be the only thing I could hang my hat on this season. But
no, there's no way. The walk-ons would burn to the ground.
I also hope it doesn't happen because Cruz, I don't know what would happen to that man.
Maybe
I really don't.
Bond said he doesn't need the money, but maybe he wants more money because Tom Brady signed a deal to join Fox after he actually retires. That's like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was more money than Troy Aikman and Tony Romo are making combined.
Yeah, that's insane. I did see that.
So is he wanting more money?
He's never done broadcasting at all, ever. And he comes in and is immediately making like 25% more than the next highest paid guy. That's crazy.
So does Brees want more money, and NBC wasn't going to let him have it?
I honestly, I mean, I don't think he will because he does have a good personality, I have to admit. But I kind of hope he comes in and he's just terrible. He's awful on the mic, and
I hope so.
However much money just down the drain for him. They can't even put him out there to commentate on games. He's so bad.
No. Yeah.
But I doubt there's even a chance of that happening.
I doubt it. But it'd be fun to watch the downfall of Tom Brady.
That'd be a legacy. Would that be a legacy ruining thing if he went out there and was just terrible at broadcasting? Just had absolutely no idea what was happening.
Oh no, it wouldn't be legacy. It wouldn't be legacy killing, but like this man would have to hide his face for a while because
the trolls would be out and about.
Yes,
if that happened.
You think the posts under? You think the trolls under like his Twitter and Instagram posts are bad now? You let him be absolute ass at broadcasting, it's gonna be miserable.
It's gonna be tough for them. It's gonna be tough. Well, boys, we're just looking that end of the show type feeling right now, but I'll leave it up to you guys. Do you have anything else to talk about?
I was thinking about this earlier. Who do you think's arm was worse, Drew Brees during his final year or Ben Roethlisberger this past year?
Oh, 100% Ben. 100%
Big
Big Ben, yeah.
Honestly, the Drew Brees having a bad arm, I think he could still get it downfield. It just probably wasn't very accurate. Big Ben legitimately could not throw the ball 10 yards down the field. I don't think he could do it physically. Drew Brees, I think, could. They built the offense not to. They had Slant Boy that was able to, catch 5-yard slants, and that's just how they went down the field, and that became a meme. But Big Ben, just could not throw the ball down the field at the end of his career. So, 100%.
There's a reason. No discredit to Najee, but there's a reason that Najee did have the fantasy season that he had this year, and that's because Ben Roethlisberger could not throw the ball farther than 10 yards.
Facts. That's honestly. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's going to be it for us here on this episode this week. I appreciate everybody listening, and be sure and follow the account on Twitter, and you can follow me at nperkins96, and I'll leave the floor. We'll start with Bond. How can people find you online, man?
All right, you can find me on Twitter at bondsnow_. I did announce last week the ass ratings were done. However, I forgot that the Cottages Bowl exists, so they'll continue. Also follow the TikTok at Oxcord Podcast, and follow the Instagram.
What?
You can follow me on Twitter at FultonW_. Please go follow the Oxcord Podcast on Twitter, on Instagram, and like Bond said, on TikTok. Follow Boot Crew on all social platforms: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Do they have a TikTok?
I don't think they have a TikTok. No, I don't think they have a TikTok.
Okay, scratch that last one. But YouTube. Please,
Yes,
please follow them on
please,
YouTube. Please
go
follow
subscribe on YouTube.
Boot Crew on YouTube. Subscribe, like the videos. Please. They are so good to us. There's not enough time remaining in this show for me to sing their praises. But Boot Crew is very good to us.
Sorry, Mac. I don't want to cut you off on your shouting yourself out, but Cruz just put in the group text. I'm guessing reacting to the Drew Brees stuff. Just I am not okay right now.
Yeah, he just sent Drew Brees' tweet in the group chat.
So Drew Brees, tweet.
Oh, Drew Brees came out and said, "quote."
Oh, he said,
"Despite speculation from media about my future this fall, I'm currently undecided. I may work for NBC. I may play football again. I may focus on business and philanthropy. I may train for the pickleball tour, senior golf tour, coach my kids, or all of the above. I'll let you know."
That's a crazy.
Those are some hell of an options. Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Pickleball tours?
Okay.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess he's just like, I don't know. But that, man.
With that kind of money, anything's a thing.
He can do whatever he wants.
He really could.
Yeah. I just didn't know that there were like official pickleball leagues. Like that was a thing we learned in gym class. Like,
I wonder if Drew Brees is just raw at pickleball. Like he's just so like he's been playing in the offseason.
That's what he's been doing in his downtime.
He definitely stayed up close to the net too. I feel like definitely easy rebounds
from Cruz. I just wanted a peaceful vacation. So.
We know Cruz is like absolutely hammered on like some Cabo.
He was scuba diving. Right now, so. He was scuba diving drunk earlier. This man is gone right now with this Drew Brees news.
Yeah, we do not condone drunk scuba diving on this podcast.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Don't do that. Horrible idea.
All right, Mac.
We apologize, Kaylee, for
tell people how you can find you online, Mac.
You can follow me on Twitter at Mac Goodchild, and please make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Oxford Pod, and like, subscribe, share, give us a shout, and ride with the boys this week. Mac's got your back.
2 weeks straight of making positive money here, so just ride with us. Ride with Mac. Sure. Mac's got your back. But until next week, guys, we'll have Cruz back next week. His vacation will officially be done. So we'll be back to the regular scheduled programming as of next week. But until then, we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next week.